Some production notes right off the top. I really messed up recording this video, so there will be some cuts, and I will be using some footage from my other weekly game just to get the full kind of welcome to the tomb experience. So a few more cuts than normal, and I'll probably have a few voiceover parts where I explain what I'm cutting to or what we missed. Thanks, hope you enjoy it. Click. This is session... I honestly have no idea what number it is, given all of our fun. It's probably 42, 41, I don't know. Anyway, we are back with the Saturday group for Tomb of Annihilation, but this time in Pathfinder. So this should be fun. Where we left off, which I think at this point was like 5 weeks ago or something, was... Y'all, it's not 45B. You guys haven't done that many sessions. But yeah, last session that we were actually playing in 5th edition, you all had beelined north through Omu to the gates of the Tomb of the Nine Gods, and ended up running into a party of red wizards outside the front, and I believe you had just finished negotiating that you agreed to actually go in together instead of fighting. Artis and Zendala were a little leery of this whole arrangement, which kind of makes sense, but I think that is where we left off. Questions, comments? Seriously, like, it's been a while since we played this.
I think I pretty well remember. I'm still trying to decide if they're going to try and kill us.
We did deal with it last time, I believe, in that we persuaded them to work peacefully. But I am good with trying again.
I think they actually offered initially to work together to get in, because I think you guys had... Do you have all the cubes, or do you have all but one of the cubes?
Yeah, they had one, and we had the rest.
So the agreement, I think Evlona, the kind of appears to be the head of these red wizards.
Wizards, actually.
What?
Wed wizards.
Wed wizards. Evlona had suggested, since nobody likes the soulmonger, maybe y'all should work together. And I think we left off with agreeing to that. Orvex is also here, but I don't have him as a combat PC because, honestly, he's never going to be much of a combat PC, and I forgot to make a token for him. But I promise, the first 5 levels of the tomb are completely built. It was just all of the player and Red Wizard NPCs that I forgot to build before the session. So yeah, we're here. Do you guys remember the layout of this area? I don't know. Or no, you guys have never been here before, have you?
What?
Cool.
Damn it, it won't let me import.
What are you trying to do?
I was trying to put refocus into my actions thing.
Oh, for dodgy?
Yep.
Oh, the refocus action for... Okay.
So I'm doing parry in there twice.
Oh, weird. Whoa! My compendium just took a while to load. There we go. Is that a feat?
It's a consequence of having focus points.
Is that an action, then?
Yeah, like you take 10 minutes to regenerate 1 focus point.
Yeah, refocus. There we go. Okay, let's go to dodgy. You're dodgy.
What, the mythological Chinese empress?
Dodgy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it in there now?
No?
Whatever. You know, just say you're going to refocus.
I know what-
It's not
yeah,
like
I'll
you're going
just-
to
yeah.
do it during combat.
Extremely unlikely, yeah.
If a combat can pause for 10
It
minutes,
lasts 10 minutes.
time stop does not last that long. So you're all standing
Oh, I've
here.
got to do.
Um, yeah. So what you see, there is.
Watchable.
Yeah, you see a bunch of red wizards. There are basically 3 tunnel-looking things here. There's one to the side, going off to the east. There's one kind of north of that. It looks like a tent, but it's actually a very tall stone obelisk that has some. It looks like the obelisk actually has some stuff carved into it. And then there's a pathway leading north there, and then there's another pathway over here that's over there. Yep.
All right. So we've already talked to these guys and they've agreed to, or we
Yeah, I
have
mean,
not.
at this point, it's pretty much. At some point, somebody's going to say, "Let's do something." And again, Orvex is here, the scholar who used to be working for the other dead red wizards.
Do these ones recognize him at all, or like they're just chill?
I think the resolution was that Evlona had acknowledged that Orvex had been employed by other red wizards, but she did not consider his contract binding to her.
Fair enough.
Basically, Orvex is a free agent.
Awesome.
He can take his talents to Baldur's Gate.
Anything interesting on this pillar?
So that obelisk, at the bottom of it, carved into the stone, is a kind of creepy set of words. I will post them in the chat. But it reads, "Fear the night when the Forsaken One seizes death's mantle, and the seas dry up, and the dead rise, and I, Asirak the Eternal, reap the world of the living. Those who dare enter, take heed. The enemies oppose. One stands between them. In darkness it hides. Don the mask or be seen. Speak no truth to the doomed child. The keys turn on the inside only." And that is all etched into the bottom of that obelisk.
Curious.
As you walk down that hall, do you have dark vision?
Great at dark vision.
Okay. So you can see there are pairs of statues in alcoves as you walk down that hallway.
Interesting. Oh, that's right. There's no such thing as passive perception anymore, is there?
There is no such thing as passive perception.
To your relief, I'm sure.
I mean, it's more that it just forces you to be intentional about what you're doing.
Yeah, fair enough. I shall take two action seek, I should say. Because I have the feat Ageless Patience, which gives me extra to perception.
Yeah, as long as we're in exploration mode, it doesn't matter how many actions it costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Arm, this will also help for you. So most actions you can take are kind of defined. And so there's exploration mode, which is right now where you're walking around. There's combat mode. And then there's also downtime mode. I don't think we're going to deal with downtime until after the end of the tomb.
All right.
Just because I don't think it's going to happen. Downtime is meant to be like days or weeks where you do stuff, because Pathfinder characters actually have skills where they can like actually make money and make items and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, you're seeking. What does
17 with the enhancement to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reference rules a little bit myself, just because I know most of them, but I want to make sure I'm running them correctly.
So it turns out exploit. Treat wounds and refocus to add.
So you scan an area for signs of creatures or objects. If you're looking for creatures, blah blah blah. If precision is blah blah. If you're using seek to search for objects, you search 10 square whatever. I'll just say you seek the room, right? A single secret. I attempt a single secret perception check for you. So I actually roll your perception. See, it hides the DC from you. So I'll do a private roll. I'll roll your perception. No. Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, I can turn it on.
Huh?
I was just looking at my modifier. Apparently, there's a thing to toggle ageless patience on or off. Interesting.
Oh, I wonder if I used it. I don't know. Yeah, you do notice there seems to be at the end of this hallway, there seems to be a false door.
Interesting.
Not that roll.
I was just testing it to see whether I could get ageless patience. Perfect work.
No. I think you'll like my roll better than your roll.
Yeah, I do.
As you pass the first, as you start passing statues, each of them has a little brazier in front of it, and they appear to be lighting up.
Okay. I was going to actually light them up, but if they're lighting up themselves, that's cool.
Yes, they're lighting up themselves as you pass them, and each one is revealing one of the 9 trickster gods.
And new information, or they're just information we already have.
There's no inscriptions.
It's just the pictures of them.
Well, there's little statues of the gods, and they're set in pairs, across from each other. So there's like, as you walk down this hallway, if you want to keep going, you'll see that it basically there's 4 pairs, and then there's that secret door beyond. And Murakana, I couldn't find a way to do this, but if you want, your axe can glow on command.
Fantastic.
I couldn't find a way to build it into the game, but I'm going to let it go. Sorry, I'm just looking up here.
My cantrip can no longer open doors in Pathfinder. Feels bad.
Do you remember which cube? Oh, you guys did not have. Which cube didn't you have? Do you remember? Was it Nang Nang?
That is a good question.
The place with all the dead grungs. You didn't get a cube there, right?
I thought we kind of did, but maybe not.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, here's what happens. I'm going to say you didn't get Nang Nang's cube. Because I think I specifically engineered both groups to not get Nang Nang's cube because, yeah, whatever.
The reason for red was itself.
For both groups, there were reasons. Also, I just didn't care about Nang Nang's shrine. I thought it was the least interesting. So as you walk by these statues, you notice a couple of things. The first one is the frog statue, which we'll say is right here. That brazier does not light as you walk by it. But as you approach the final door, or the secret door at the end of the hallway, as you get within about 5 feet of it, you hear a smooth sound of stone grinding on stone, and it actually opens up as the brazier of Unk the flail snail lights. And let's see here. There is a golden pendant shaped like an eye hanging off of one of the eye stalks of Unk the flail snail's statue.
Interesting. Well, that seems like it could be trapped. We're not in the tomb, technically, are we?
No, you are not inside the tomb.
That cast.
Gonna get them augury rolls in now.
Yep. Hey, it's a freaking staff. It's not like it cost me anything to do it.
Got to get him in. Get him in while the getting's good, right? Let's see
Uh,
here.
Would anything bad happen if I took the bling on that statue?
Oh wow, this is literally the same spell. Okay. I roll a secret flat DC 6 check. Okay. Cool.
But now it doesn't have stacking, so I can just keep doing it.
You get a strong feeling of woe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
Don't touch it.
Hold on. Never mind. It's no. You get a feeling of nothing. You get a feeling of nothing.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Well then.
That's not because I'm reinterpreting the results. It's because I'm reinterpreting the way. Yeah.
So hey, Maricana, you want to grab it?
Want me to
No,
kick the door open?
Nah.
Probably a bad idea.
Nah, if she got nothing, then she'll just grab it. She doesn't know any better.
Oh God! If anyone asks about the same topic as the first casting during an additional casting, so it doesn't even matter if you cast again. If somebody else does it, I use the first roll. That's
What?
amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
If anyone asks about the same topic as the first
Oh.
casting of augury during an additional casting, the GM uses the secret roll from the first result. So if you have
Okay.
5
They have
clerics
to
that have
choose
augury,
circumstances.
they can't all just augurize it.
Okay, so they have to change circumstances slightly and then go, oh, okay, well. Oh,
Yeah.
and it's only possible, not certain. So. Interesting.
Yeah.
I suppose that prevents, functionally metagaming through most traps and shit.
I feel like there's a lot more clauses in Pathfinder like that, where it's like,
It's
no,
not that funny.
we thought about that one. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, so does anything happen when I grab the necklace thing or whatever it is?
You now have a necklace in your hand.
Cool. So what is it? Is it just a gold necklace?
It is a gold pendant shaped like an eye.
And whose statue was it?
Unk,
Oh.
the flail snail.
A flailed snail or flayed snail?
Flail.
Something fun.
Flail snail.
Huh.
Flail snails are very large snails that have very valuable shells.
Ah. I thought you meant like flail as in flailing thy arms around and stuff. So,
Well, they do have a bunch of club-like appendages on them that they can flail at you, hence the term
Interesting.
flail snail. They're actually kind of gnarly if you fight one.
well, yeah. Except for the fact that she's basically invisible, but yeah. Depends on how good their blind sight is. Cool. So I guess I'll put them in my inventory, or in my bag of holding.
Okay.
I'll just keep a record of it for now, and I'll type them all up later. That door is locked still, yeah? Because we
No,
don't have the...
It opened. You got the
Oh.
pendant off of the statue in that alcove.
Oh, alright. Okay.
And, as you walk out, Konax, the male wizard closest to you, says, "Ah, it seems like you had the right cube to open that secret door. Anything interesting inside?"
Just a few small treasures by the looks of it.
Very well.
Wait, do I have identified? Shit. No, I don't. I don't think. Oh, that's right, because that was a fucking arcane spell that I had because I was in a fucking Smith Cleric. Yeah, there you go. Blue Gale has that one then.
I don't think he's even made a character yet.
Yeah.
Or if he has, I don't think he's done it in Hero Lab, so I'll double check, but just to make sure, let me check.
I'll ask Sandala if she's done it.
1 second. Whoa. What is going on? There we go. Let's see here. Yep, Gale is still a level 1 character, so he has not made anything. Zendala, on the other hand, I think does exist as a character. There we go. I made Zendala. So you're looking for spells off of her?
Like, does she have anything related to like identifying things? Or I'm guessing not, since she was a blaster. But
She has Read Aura. Sorry, I'm just checking her spells. She has Read Aura.
and I've got that as well. So interesting. I probably should have done that first. I think.
And that's a cantrip, I think. So you focus on the target. You hold the pendant. You feel an aura of divination magic on the pendant.
Curious.
So it is magical. Oh, for what it's worth, Read Aura, unlike Detect Magic, Read Aura is you have to focus on things. It's not just like I sense all the magic in the place.
No, yeah, you're standing there for a minute focusing on
Yeah.
something. So
Murakana, you're wandering about. Anything in particular you want to look at?
No, just kind of looking around to make sure I didn't miss any passages.
well, there's one.
So you found most of them. All of them, sorry. There's only 3.
Let's say what time?
And
Knock knock.
yeah, so as you walk up to that door, sorry, all my notes for this are actually in Foundry, so let me get it. So you see a slab of worked stone blocking this overgrown tunnel entrance. There is a grinning skull. Sorry. Grinning skulls mark the edge of the slab in the center. Grinning skulls mark the edges of the slab, in the center of which are 9 cube-shaped cavities arranged in 3 rows of 3. So like a tic-tac-toe grid.
Well, that's probably where we're going to put the cubes in, I'm guessing. Or actually, wait, how many cubes do we get? There's 9, isn't it?
There's 9 total. You have 8. Evlona has the 9th.
Interesting. So that's the final door. What was that one then? We didn't try that one, did we? Oh, that was where they were hanging out.
You want to go look at that door?
Yeah, why not?
So this is a slightly cleaner 20-foot passageway showing a this is also a short tunnel ending in a slab of worked stone. The edges of this slab are also marked with grinning skulls. There are 4 lines engraved at the center of the slab crossing one another to form a star, with both ends of each line marking the location of a cube-shaped cavity cut into the door. 8 cavities in all. So this has 8 cavities in a star arrangement. The other door has 9 in a grid arrangement.
That's weird. So I wonder if we can put all the cubes in this one to get it to open. Or all the ones we have, anyway. What do you think, Murakana?
Good, let's pop them.
Cool. I'll pop all the cubes that we have into those 8 spots.
So how do you put them in?
One at a time.
But like, which do you place them in any order, or are you just randomly putting them in?
Well, is there any inscription? Sorry.
Nope. There are no inscriptions.
Okay. Guess we put them in randomly.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Rip. Hmm. Could I like roll something to like I don't know, try to guess some way? I don't know, wisdom or something like that.
Um,
I don't do well with puzzles.
yeah, so I mean, so A, you've got Orvex. B, you've got religion, history. Is history a thing here? They got rid of
I
history. Um, yeah, because those
think
are,
history's awesome.
that's a lore. So yeah, you could do like, well, you could do investigation. You could talk to the wizards. You could talk to Orvex and see if anybody else has any ideas about how to try and solve the puzzle. Yeah, because this is kind of a. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll give that a shot. See what we get. Terrible. Okay, gotcha.
So on a 21, you do remember that in all the legends of the nine gods from Orvex talking about them as you guys wander around, the gods do oppose each other. And so each of the gods opposes another one of the trickster gods, except for Unk, who didn't oppose anybody. In the lore, Obolaka and Aijin oppose each other. Shigambi and Nang Nang oppose each other. Sorry, so Obolaka is like a bear, and Aijin is the jackalope bunny. Shigambi, which is kind of like a lion, and Nang Nang the frog opposed each other. Uh, Kubazan was a frog hemoth, and Papazatl the big bird oppose each other. Moa the snake and Wongo the Sioux monster, those are the crazy psychic monkeys. They oppose each
Yep.
other. And Unk pretty much
Yeah,
is.
Uncle neutral.
He's neutral.
That's okay. Yeah, I just typed them out to see which ones oppose each other. So there, it's
Here,
8 like a star, isn't it?
here, I'll pop that up. There you go. There's the Legend of the Gods. That pretty much maps most of it out.
Oh yeah, I got that part. I meant more
Okay.
like the arrangement they have on the door.
So the arrangement on this door that you're in front of, it's eight up. It's four pairs of two opposed things. Like
Oh, so then yeah, we just
so,
I'll rearrange the cubes.
it's
Yeah.
like burp, 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 burp. That's a horrible drawing, but hopefully that makes sense.
Did you want?
Down by the obelisk.
Oh right. Yep.
It's terrible, but like cube,
No, I get the idea.
cube, 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 and the other one. So the other one looks like. I'll just draw this one out. The other door looks like.
Yeah, the other one has all 9.
Yes. So one has 8, one has 9.
Curious. So the ones that we've got, we have. I think we're missing one then.
You're missing
Oh.
Nang Nang.
Yeah, and we need Nang Nang's cube. So I shall go back and talk to who was the leader again? Evelona, I think. She was
Evlona, or she seems to be the leader. Like she's been the face of the party, if you will.
Well, I'll approach her and point out to that. I'll explain the situation about the door. That we could use their assistance in opening it. I believe it requires the cube of Nang Nang.
Very
And
well.
we have all the others.
Are you sure? Have you decided that you want to attempt that door first? Is that your choice, or should we try the other one? I'm mostly curious if you have figured out any difference.
At the moment, I suspect that may not be the main entrance to the tomb, but it could be, so.
Very well. Let us see. I'll take the cube and accompany them. We shall stand guard, just in case anybody decides to do anything tricky. And Albolio will come with the cube, and the rest of them will kind of just be ready. Like, they're not being openly hostile, but they're just, you know,
Yeah, fair enough.
they're just ready.
Wait, they're all human, right?
They all appear to be human, yeah. Like, they're weird, sallow, blue tattooed, creepy lookers, but they all look human.
So if I dumped improved darkness like there, every one of them would be blind. Sweet. Unfortunately, Americana would be as well, but
Oh,
Yeah.
big dumb animal to begin with.
you can just lash out blindly and hope you kill one of them. That big fucking axe of yours.
There's actually 4 levels of concealment in Pathfinder, which I find fascinating.
Yeah,
I had to
but
read
if
it
they
a
can't
bunch
see
of
it,
times, yeah. There's a difference
it's like
between creatures that you don't know are there, creatures that you know are there but you don't know where they are, creatures that you know where they are and you think they or you know they're there and you think you know where they are.
the
And
general
then
gist of their location.
yeah, it's like visible, concealed, hidden and unknown. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's
fair enough.
fun. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know if
you're right.
that's ever going to matter, but there you go.
It very well might, because Daji is pretty much that's like her whole defense.
I was born in the darkness.
Anyway, does anything happen when we place the cubes in opposition or in a way that the gods oppose to each other?
Yeah, okay. So, if the puzzle cube's resenting... So you put them in the opposition, barring Unk?
Yeah, like Unks
Okay.
doesn't oppose anyone, so leave them in my bag.
A stone... As you put the final cube in, a stone block begins descending here, where I just drew a blue line.
Oh,
You must immediately decide whether to stay or flee.
shit. Okay.
Which
Fuck
are
it.
you going to do?
I flee and try to drag up
So, make an athletics check
to
to get...
grab.
No, to get out before the door closes.
Oh, okay. What is it? Athletics.
Yes, athletics. It is a quickly closing door, and you have to run 20 feet.
I think I have a feat that lets me use acrobatics instead. One sec. Not sure if it actually does that or not.
Oh, do you have anything? Okay, so that would just
I would also point out that I have 45 base movement speed, so she is fucking fast. Like
you got to
more than
make the
twice
check.
as fast as a regular human. Yeah, I know. But just pointing out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, mine applies to jumping. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so you successfully get out. Alboliel does not. So this door
Oh shit.
seals as Alboliel is trying to follow you out. Let's see what happens here.
Oh shit. How do we get him out?
Oh, that's fun. Let's see here. Yeah, the weight of the stone block. Okay. 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 How long does it do this for? Sorry, I have to read this real quick. 10 rounds. Okay. So, give me 1 second to... Let's see. How does she do? Ooh, so that's 1. I have to roll some saves real quick. 2. 3. So you kind of hear muffled thumps
Oh,
and a hissing sound from behind the doorway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I motioned to Maricana to break down the door. Well, try.
7, 8,
Jesus, that's it.
9, 10. I mean, the door is pretty much unbreakable.
Yeah, I think
Can
I'm
our
not.
marine pound? Can Americana pound against it anyways?
You can pound against it all you want. So let's see here. Ooh, that's brutal. Okay. So she's gonna take 5 plus 5, and then she's gonna take... Oh, what's 22? Yeah, no, okay. Cool. After about a minute passes, after about 45 seconds, the thumps on the other side of the door cease. And about 15 seconds later, the stone door slides upwards and some faint wisps of gas waft out. Murakana and Daji, they both make you cough pretty nastily. It's pretty acrid gas.
Shit.
And
I'll
all
go
of you,
in.
well, as you look in, what is left of Alboliel is a seared and almost, it looks like she got dipped in a bath of acid.
Shit. Okay.
And
She's very dead
she is very dead. She is just, her skin is half melted off. There's blood everywhere around her. She's done.
Fair enough. Jesus. Okay.
There is a pile on the floor in front of the door of 8 cubes.
Well, shit. I will assess the reaction of our red wizard friends here.
And Konax and so the three red wizards that aren't Evlona look to Evlona, and she just arches one eyebrow and says, well, that was an unfortunate setback. I don't
But she
think there
doesn't
is
seem
anything else we can do for her, so we should move on.
Fair enough. Does anything happen when I go to grab the cubes?
I mean, aside from the mild horror of seeing Alboliel's body, no, you're fine.
Yeah, should be fine.
It's still a pretty brutal way to go.
Oh yeah, and the fact that she very nearly joined her. So
Ooh, that trap's brutal.
I guess that's not the answer.
And Pathfinder characters have more hit points than most 5e characters. And I'm using the 5e damage anyway.
I think I probably could have done maybe a bit better just because I was resistant to most of that, but even so, that would have sucked.
How do you feel about 220 damage?
What type?
Half poison, half acid.
Well, poison I can neutralize, so I'd be immune to it. But the rest, yeah, that'd suck. I'd just survive. I'd be like on 5 hit points.
Okay. Is that a cat or a person? Hello?
Huh? What?
I heard noise. I wasn't sure if it was a cat or a person.
Interesting.
So you grab the cubes?
And I don't know, I grab the remains of Abodiel. And yeah, and like try to bring her out at least up there.
Sure. You can do so.
Won't loot her because I figure with the red wizards right there, they probably won't like it.
You don't want to woot you don't want to woot the fallen in front of the red wizards?
That's correct.
Sorry, I'm gonna erase all of these crazy marks I have on the map right now. It's starting to drive me nuts.
Oh, who splashed all this blue paint everywhere?
Uh,
I thought I was starting an art project or something.
There we go. Okay.
Well,
And then
bang handed over there.
as you come over, Evlona says, shall we try the other door? Hopefully it will be less unfortunate.
That is the hope.
Okay.
So we're out of doors otherwise.
Okay.
Besides, you can trust her. I mean, Doji at this point basically looks like a devil, so. But hey, they're lawful evil as well, so I think they're fine. Cool. They're just in a grid, aren't they? Like, these cubes are in a grid, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a 9x9 grid.
Well, I guess they need all of them.
Well, I mean, you would have all of them. Alboliel had the Nang Nang cube.
Yeah.
Or, well, you had the Unk cube and all the other 8 were in a pile, so you have all 9. Religion 32.
Just to see if, like, I know any hints on how to place these ones, or...
I mean, you would assume that maybe... I'm kind of combining some ideas here, but, like, based on the fact that the other door with 8 cubes only worked when they were successfully aligned, maybe this one is, like, maybe if all 9 of them are correctly aligned, it'll open and maybe not kill you? I don't know.
Here's the hope. Okay,
Like,
so
like based on the prior door, the alignment matters. Yeah. You there, Maracana?
I'm here.
Are you gonna follow along for the attempt to open the next door, or hang back?
I'm gonna sit right here.
Okay.
Cool. I shall use...
Because everybody knows I am a low asshole.
Well, I'll put the cubes opposing each other with Mr. Snail Boy in the middle.
Okay.
Unk.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to get to the right window here. Give me 1 second.
I'll come back.
Sorry, there was stuff happening behind me. I was like, what is going on? Okay, so Dodgy, you are Lyokin Dodgy. I should probably have said something about that at the top. Lyokin is now playing Dodgy. Okay, there I said it.
So,
Yeah,
the
so
Centaur's been replaced by a Tiefling.
yeah, so this makes the 3rd Tiefling in the campaign so far.
Kind of, except this one's an elf Tiefling, so I guess...
I'm just glad he didn't
Because then
decide to try and make a Leshy, because I don't know why, but I irrationally hate Leshy.
What's that?
Plant people.
Pass.
I was supposed.
Because random.
Well, so random asides, things I've learned in the last year of running and trying to join games. For some reason in Pathfinder, people love to play Leshies. Don't know why. And in 5th edition, apparently people love to play Yuanti, which are the snake people. And saying, okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand either of them.
I am Groot.
Well, it comes up a lot in this, like in the DM chat for this campaign, because the Yuanti are literally like one of the enemies. And so there's always DMs saying, what if my player wants to be a Yuanti? To which I kind of want to say, tell them no.
Yeah.
Or figure out like how that's going to work. Like, you know.
Infiltrator or something. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it actually opens up some cool ideas, but like fundamentally, I
Like
don't know.
enemy of my enemy thing, they probably don't want to get fucking sucked into the soulmonger either, but they're still, opposed to probably everyone else who's gone after them.
It's kind of like
That'd
if
be
somebody had said, I want to play a Thayan. I would have said, like, are you a Thayan loyalist? If so, maybe not. Just because that...
On account of they're already here.
like... Well, just because, Thayans are set up as an antagonist in this... or a quasi-antagonist. Anyway. Okay, so, back to the game we're actually playing. And not me going off on endless goddamn tangents. So, okay, Dodgy is at the door. Murakana, you're hanging back.
I am useless here.
Okay.
That's not true. You can smash things.
And then I think Evlona and Nithla are going to come forward to just kind of be present. And they both look ready to deal with whatever. Zandala and Artis are kind of mirroring Gerdax and Konax, and I guess Murakana, you're just chilling out there too. Okay. What?
What's up?
I'm going to position myself here so I can just grab people if they get close to me and just kind of throw them out the door.
Okay, so...
If that's my way, I'm just going to yeet them in the opposite direction of the room.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Well, I start placing the cubes then.
Sure. So as you place the cubes, kind of according to the Orvex is with you guys. Sorry,
Oh, cool.
he's just here. I'll get an Orvex token later. As you guys place the cubes, as you place the ninth cube in that kind of with the opposed gods against each other and Unk in the middle, the 9 cubes flare with light and then they disappear. Growling like an angry beast, the slab in front of you slides up into the ceiling, revealing a hallway about 20 feet long. Oh, let me get rid of walls. Wall controls, come here. Wall control, thank you.
Hey.
Revealing a room beyond. This hallway is about 20 feet long. There is another slab blocking the hallway at the end. An iron lever is set into the door's surface, and a stone skull is carved above the slab, kind of at the top of the ceiling of this room, leering down from above.
Curious. Oh, is it dark in there? I'm assuming it is.
So there's it's like low light in here. It's dim.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll seek with my 17 perception, or with the
Yep.
the feet.
Let me do the roll. It's funny how many more passive rolls there are, or like the DM rolls it for you rolls in this game, which makes sense to a degree.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, as you inspect the room, there is a seam running lengthwise down the middle of this room in the floor.
Huh.
That's really the only thing that stands out.
Well, I'll point that out to everyone in the vicinity. I suspect that's probably a trap.
Yes, the question is what activates the trap.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you said there was a skull in there as well, and what else was in it?
So on the far side of the room, there's an iron lever pretty much set into the slab opposite you. And then above it, there is a stone skull leering down from above.
I ask Orvex if he can make anything of this, but I cast light so he can actually see.
Yeah, Orvex wanders up. I mean, my area of specialty is usually lore or translation. I do not see anything in this room that is within my wheelhouse, as the saying goes. My apologies.
It's quite all right. Let us see.
And artist kind of shouts because he's been watching everybody else. He's like, "Hey, how's it going in there? I heard a door creak."
We're working on, damn it.
Okay, I'm just more asking. Sorry.
Yeah. Solving puzzles brings out the best in me. Shit. I have no idea. Because I figure if I fucking walk across that, the floor's gonna come out from under me or something.
I'm back.
That's
Sorry, I
all.
had Wi-Fi, bro.
Huh? Oh, right.
So basically, right now, Daji and Evlona are staring at a floor that they know has a seam in it, so they're assuming it's trapped. On the far side of this 20-foot hallway, there is a door with a iron lever set in the middle of it, and a skull looking down above the lever. And yeah, that's where we're at.
How long does that last? 10 minutes. Ugh, okay, never mind. We won't cast that then. I have a rope, so I shall loop it at one end and then try to throw it over the lever from where I am.
Oh, you're gonna try and you're gonna try to lasso the lever?
And like then pull it.
Okay. Make a athletics check to see if you can pull that off.
Cool.
So I'm just checking something real quick. Where is this? Okay, so the base would be 926 plus 2. Sure. You pull the lever, and the floor of this room splits open to reveal a 20-foot deep pit lined with spikes.
That's unpleasant.
Nothing else
Would that be an
happens right
instant
now.
trap?
Huh?
What?
Would that be an instant death trap?
A 20-foot drop? Probably not, but onto spikes it would suck, but
There are not many instant death traps in this dungeon. At least with your hit points, Murakana.
yeah, you'd be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to fly.
For you, there are very few instantaneous death traps. And I'm not a huge fan of just your instantly dead traps. So, unless it's very obvious, like if there's a guillotine and you stick your head inside the guillotine, you may get decapitated and then you're dead. But like, yeah, I'm not gonna have random minor traps just utterly kill you. Most of them, like I think there's one or two that might be able to, but even I think you would be mostly okay. I say realizing that last trap did 210 damage, so that would have killed
which would have killed any of us except for potentially me because I have resist immunity potentially. If I had time to cast this.
To be fair, I think that that trap is meant to kill a player. Like that's kind of why it exists. So yeah.
That's fair. Well, I do technically have a solution, I suppose. Why do I not have spell uses? Are weird. What the hell? Like have no spells. No spell charges, I should say. I should have 3 in each category. I think I can set that. Yep.
There you go. Spontaneous divine. Oh, I'm gonna get out of your character sheet. Sorry, I don't want us to both read it at the same time. I just don't know if it'll do weird shit. I know in the 5th edition version sometimes it would do weird shit.
Yeah, I was doing weird shit when you're in mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to cast Airwalk, I believe.
Fancy. So it lasts 5 minutes? Okay, cool.
And I walk over.
So as you cross the middle point of the room, the
Oh,
jaws of the skull above the doorway, they creak open, and a skeletal hand holding a crystal hourglass timer emerges. And with a click, the timer rotates, and the sand begins to trickle down into the lower globe.
wait,
10.
say again. Sorry.
So there's a hourglass timer activates as you cross the middle of the room.
Okay. Um,
So
is that door unlocked, or can I like open it, or?
there's just a door with a metal. It's a slab with that metal lever in the middle of it that you have tied that rope to, and the pit is open.
Yeah, but it didn't. Oh, so that's not actually a door. That's just.
You don't know.
Well, I'm standing in front of it. Can I press on it or anything, or does it?
Yeah, so the count's at 8 from 10. You can try to do whatever. You're trying to push on the door.
Yeah, very quickly, and then if it gives me 5 seconds, I'm just going to run out.
Okay, so the door doesn't move.
Oh, I'm running out.
Okay, so you do that, and Evlona's just kind of watching this whole thing like, what? And then as the sand in the hourglass runs out, the lever kind of almost flips back into the solid stone slab. Solid stone slab. And the skull pulls the hourglass back into its jaw and it snaps shut. And the doorway
What?
Were you here for the first version of this?
Yes, it's
Oh,
quite a bit
okay.
different. Ah, so now it's open now, is it?
Yes, that door has opened, but there is still a giant pit in front of you. And your rope kind of got sliced off, and so now you have a slightly shorter rope that got cut
Sorry,
off as the slab went into the ceiling. So,
I saw this coming and brought 200 feet of it.
was that a 50-foot rope?
Yeah, I brought 4 of them.
So now you have a 40-foot rope.
Uh,
And the door beyond has opened.
I'm just.
And Evlona says, "That was strange."
Bit. Where's my Q-tip? Oh, I can't change the length of it. Rip. Cool. So I can cross this, right? And
With the airwalk?
yep.
Yep, you can. I mean, you're fine to walk across.
What happens if I pull the lever again?
You can't. The door is in the ceiling.
Oh, the door was in. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Fair
So
enough.
the door has
Yep.
just risen into the ceiling. So both of these doors have risen into the ceiling. So that's about where you're at.
I seek. I'm not gonna lick it because it like fucks up the chat.
Yeah.
Seek, and if there's anything for me to anchor a rope to on this side.
I mean, actually, you don't even need to seek. So like there's scrubby
Yeah, I thought maybe
shrubs and
that's like
stuff.
just.
So like you could definitely tie a rope to one of those and assume that like one person at a time could get across on it if it's secured at the other side.
Cool. Then I'll run across and secure it on this side if I can.
Cool. And so Evlona kind of looks at the rope gingerly and says, "Nifla, you test it first."
I'll hold on to it as well, just to like help brace it on this side.
And the other wizard by Evlona just kind of sighs and
Wait, I'll do it.
And Nithla says, "Thank you, barbarian. At least somebody here has some class." You gonna walk across the rope?
Yep.
Congratulations, you do so. And then Nithla, as soon as Murakana you get across, she just kind of glares at Avlona and gets to the other side.
Murakana reaches his hand out to help her.
Aw.
And then Avlona just follows along. As
Didn't we
the
have a rogue that Americana was trying to woo?
a rogue, oh, Masika, I've
Yeah.
completely forgotten about Masika. Sorry, I'm just kind of writing out side plot right now because, yeah.
Oh, you're right.
But so, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So as the four of you, I have to do one thing real quick.
So at this point, I screw up the recording and I skipped the Withers speech when the party enters the tomb. What I'm going to do is grab that clip from my other weekly session and drop it in, and then I'll cut and come back to the Pathfinder group, the Saturday group. So hopefully it's not too disruptive, but it's nice to have that, at least for the dramatic effect for going back to look at this in the future. So apologies. Learning to use OBS and making mistakes seems to happen regularly, but on with the show in just a few minutes.
I hope they fix this. I don't know. Oh, they're looking at me. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to extend you a warm welcome to the Tomb of Annihilation. My name is Withers, and I will be your guide as you explore our fine establishment. Before you dungeon dive right in, I would like to give you a short history of the tomb and have you complete some basic paperwork so management can improve and enhance the experience for future visitors. Originally called the Tomb of the Nine Gods, this tomb was built by the citizens of Omu in 1377, after the great and terrible Asirak the Eternal laid low the false trickster gods and forced their spirits into servitude. The fine citizens of Omu, overjoyed that they were free of the mendacious and malicious false gods, wholeheartedly devoted themselves to the construction of the tomb you now find yourselves about to experience. I seized the opportunity to serve Asirak, and I have not regretted the choice for a single day in the last 100 years. You will likely find many of those devoted builders still wandering the halls, silently and conscientiously providing service as chaperones and tenders of the various features of our establishment. Asirak was kind enough to provide a benefits package that extends beyond death itself to his dutiful servants. Daily too long in one place, and you may get to meet these servants face to face, and they will help direct you further along in your explorations and sightseeing. As you can guess by its namesake, the Tomb of the Nine Gods houses the spirits of the 9 trickster gods of Omu, each happily resting in magical artifacts contained within individual mausoleums throughout the dungeon. Please, do be careful if you handle any of these artifacts, as you may receive unwanted communication from the trickster spirits. In addition to these possessed and possessing possessions, you can find a variety of other incredibly valuable tools, priceless trinkets, and even a few cultural artifacts from Jolt. The tomb itself is a testament to multiplanar engineering and the creativity of Asirak himself. You will find 6 complete floors, over 50 rooms, and countless encounters designed to make your stay as invigorating and stimulating as possible. Our staff works tirelessly to ensure that all features of the tomb are always fully functional. If you have a desire to stop and rest, do not worry. You will be able to revisit almost all of our features each and every day. You can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that you are in the most capable hands in the entire dungeon business. I can proudly say that we here in the Tomb of Annihilation have a 100% satisfaction rate. Since our opening over a century ago, 997 visitors just like you have entered the tomb, and every single visitor has enjoyed their experience so much they have decided to extend their stay indefinitely. There may even be a special prize if you happen to be the lucky 1,000th visitor to commit to full-time residency. I am sure you are eager to begin your tour, but we do have one last bit of bureaucracy. On the table before you, you will find a short liability waiver explaining your rights, responsibilities, and the various rules and regulations in the tomb. Entry past this point is considered acceptance of the terms and conditions, so I do suggest you take the time to read and understand the document. Welcome, and enjoy your stay.
And as that voice cuts out, the door behind all of you slowly starts to grind down and shut. And you can see that indeed there is a table kind of next to those two zombies, and on it there is a stack of relatively fresh pieces of paper. And on them is... And I'm going to post this to all of the players in-game right now. I will probably do this again. But there is a liability release and waiver for the Tomb of the Nine Gods.
I'll ask if they have any forms in Sylvan, and I'll talk in Sylvan as well. Just to be pretentious about it.
I apologize. We only offer forms in Common and Chultan at this time.
But he does understand what I'm saying, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I don't
the
ask you
voice
about,
the voice understood you. He just...
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Interesting. So he's probably got a spell or something that's either translating or he happens to know Sylvan, which would be unusual. Unless he was an elf. Or Fae. Well. I look at the forms anyway.
Let's see here.
And I'll take one, but I won't sign it.
Oh, shit. I don't actually have it in this game. God damn it.
I take the piece of paper, like my character's not signing it or that.
Sure. Yeah, so at this point, sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I'm at with all my stuff, because I was all backwards. Yeah, you can take one off the table. You'll have it. I'll get a copy of it at some point and put it in this game, or I'll post it somewhere. So you've walked up to a T intersection at the kind of things that you notice as you come up to this intersection. There is a giant stone face in front of you. It's about 7 feet tall with a wide open grinning mouth. The space inside the mouth is pitch dark.
What, even to Daiji?
Yes, even to Daiji.
She can see through magical darkness, I must point out.
What does she have that sees through magical darkness?
Greater dark vision.
Oh, wow. I didn't know greater
Yes.
dark vision was a thing.
Yep.
Okay, well, yeah, you can see inside the mouth. There's a small semicircular chamber beyond. You can't quite make out, but there is some sort of creature that kind of moves out of line of sight of the mouth when you get closer to it.
I'm guessing you kind of figured that I can see it.
Well,
Or saw it, I should say.
when you look at something, it tends to notice.
Yeah. Especially since I'm right in front of it.
Yeah. To your west, there is a hallway that has a grate in the middle of it, about halfway down the length of the hall. The grate is in the floor. There is also a crystal window looking into a room beyond. From this distance, you can't really make out what's in that room. Off to your east, there appears to be a hallway that opens out into a vast open space. Throughout this area, the ceilings are about 8 feet tall, and there is a very small amount of dim light filtering in from small cracks in the rock and stone above, just little slivers of daylight filtering in. And I think that is what you see right now.
Well, I'll talk to the demon that's inside there. Well, I'm assuming a demon. I'll call out to it in common. Like, hey, why don't you come out? I know you're in there.
There's no response from inside.
I cast light in there, inside it. Oh, where's the spell? Spell.
Does
What's
light...
that doing?
I don't think light stops magical darkness. I think magical darkness has to be dispelled.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'm looking it up, but I don't think...
You would be right, because this is just a cantrip. There's no way it'd be strong enough to dispel it, I don't think.
Darkness blocks magical light of lower levels.
Actually,
so no.
that becomes a funny thing, because that's cast at a 5th level. Because it's a cantrip. It gets leveled to half. I believe. So unless that darkness was heightened, then it would get dispelled.
I'm gonna say no, because this is where I think the way it works. This is a changing game systems conflict.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
So no, it doesn't work. Sorry, it took me a second. Like, no, this wasn't written in Pathfinder. This was written in 5th edition. That doesn't work.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, the light does not dispel the darkness. So you definitely cast the cantrip, but it fails to happen. Evlona and Nithla come up, and Nithla says, "You see something in there?"
I saw a shadow demon of some sort. I'm assuming it's such. Few others can see that well in magical darkness.
And Evlona glances around and says, "Maybe we should step back a moment and discuss our relationship and strategy, just so we are all on the same pages, yes?"
Of course. I roll a seduction check. No, I'm kidding. Hey, I totally could. My character has 19 charisma. She's superhumanly.
Keep in mind the recipient does have to be open to being seduced.
It's true. Probably not the time or place. Yep.
Yeah, seduce the
Do
thing.
you mind if I call you Zendala?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Too soon. I mean, she's only 60
like
feet
right
away.
outside.
You're not even in a different zip code, son. Come on. So the Red Wizards back up. Just mostly they're trying to, like, now that they know that they're... You can tell they're just like, we don't want to talk right next to whatever the fuck's in that shadow mouth. And so Evlona kind of surveys you guys and says, "Well, we are obviously lower in numbers, but our mission to defeat the Soulmonger is still in place. Are you still in agreement that that is the primary purpose for us being in this dungeon?"
Sounds good to
At the
me.
very least, it's destruction to stop havoc.
"Very well. I would propose that we work together for the remainder of the time we are here, at least until we find the Soulmonger. We could renegotiate this every single corner we go around, but I would like to give my assurance that if you give your word, we will give ours, that we will not be doing any stabbings in backs at this until we defeat this soulmonger at least.
I think we can make such an agreement. And then, well, I'll vow to work with your group. Well, the two of you. I think calling them a group's a bit strong now. And swear not to betray you unless you and yours do the same to us. And then she'll cut a bit on a slice into her palm and then offer it in a handshake. Pack sealed in blood, so to speak.
Evlona kind of raises an eyebrow and says, I do not think I want to be blood sisters, but how about this? And she
She's an Asmodean.
she pulls a scroll and a dagger from her robes and hands them both to you, and says, I will give these to you as a commitment that I will not use them on you. Will that suffice?
Fair enough.
And so the dagger is just a normal dagger. The scroll is a scroll that I'll figure out later.
Yeah, fair enough.
She just didn't want to do the blood sisters thing. She's like, And Nithla kind of rolls her eyebrows and slashes her palm and grabs yours.
Aw. Yay.
She's down the pound.
I don't mean it like that. I meant more like, a blood pact, all that sort of thing. Just like, I don't know. I figured it might be an old way for an agreement or something.
And Evlona just looks at Nithla and says, why are you always so dramatic about everything?
I like these people more and more by the minute.
I know, right? They're great.
Like, I'm just making up characters as I go right now. It's fantastic. Okay. Okay, so there we go.
Sure.
Here we are.
Well, I don't really believe we should leave an uncommunicative and unhelpful demon behind us. So, I shall. What's Divine Lance do?
Why is this not working? Your Divine Lancing? Sorry, 1 second. Nothing is working right now. This is very frustrating. Okay. Weird. Can you say something, Lyok? And I just want to check something.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. Okay, so Divine Lance. So you are basically... Oh, you can see it. Okay, so you make a ranged attack spell roll. Yeah, make an attack against it.
For my best attempt.
That does not hit. It kind of zaps into the back wall, right? There's no area of effect.
No,
Yeah.
it's just a regular cantrip.
Okay, and then with that,
Pretty sure he's going to be pissed about it though.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to go into combat. So roll initiative. So we have the minor problem that Nithla has no frickin' idea what you're shooting at. So that's frustrating, but
She can prepare a spell though.
yeah, I'm just looking at what her options are here.
Fireball.
No, what?
fireball is fine. What do you mean?
She is going to... Not that, not that. Sorry, I have to look at their spells real quick because I kind of made these up at the last minute. That's fun. Yeah, she's going to prepare a spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nithla is going to move up and prepare a spell on her turn. It is now Murakana's turn.
Ah. I think that activated that.
What are you trying to do?
Rage.
I think you're just going to have to remember it. Because I don't think effects are enabled right
we
now.
did last time. You could drag and drop it
Oh yeah,
onto
how
your
did
character.
we? How did we do that?
Yeah, I have it. Like, you go to the effects tab in your character, and then just drag and drop rage.
From the compendium?
Yeah, see, I just did it then.
Boom.
To myself.
Oh, well, don't
Oh,
give
I'm
yourself
gonna delete it.
rage.
Yeah, I know, I took it off. I just wanted to see if it would work for my character as well.
Effects tab. Effects tab.
Trying to remember
What,
where.
you don't think I can get angry too? That's mean.
Oh, where is effects? No, effects isn't in that compendium. Where are effects?
No, it's just when you double click on your character and bring up that profile thing. It's the third one from the left. Looks like a star.
I know where the tab is. I don't know where to drag the effect from.
Oh, you know how Americana linked the rage thing in the bar? You drag the thing that looks like a suitcase over.
Oh, cool. There we go. Awesome.
Yep.
That's nifty.
Fantastic.
Very, very handy.
Okay, so it is Murakana's tomb, and my audio stopped working for some reason, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. That's cool. So are you trying to run in there and attack whatever the creature is?
Yes.
Okay, so you can dive through the mouth into the magical darkness. You can't see anything, so you're going to take a -4. Oh god, of course. Of course, on the first fight, we're going to use the rule I said we weren't going to have to use. Attacking concealed creature. Pathfinder 2.
Actually, wait. Time out.
I'd wait out. Wait outside.
How big is that room that I'm about to dive into?
You have no idea. You can't
Okay,
see it.
I have a
Yeah, you
I
can't
have
see
a
it there.
plan.
Only me.
I have a plan.
Wait outside. It's fine.
What is your plan?
Trying to figure out how to activate. I'm just gonna scorch the whole inside of that room. Just everything. Just
Oh, you're gonna
Oh.
dragon's breath it? Okay. I guess roll 96 damage. So,
And you have to roll a reflex save, but yeah.
oh, you guys are gonna. Oh, cool.
I have to ask, how can it reflex inside of a room?
For the same reason, I could technically dodge all the damage from that because I have greater evasion.
Oh, where's
No,
my
no,
thing?
greater evasion.
So saves don't negate damage. They only a successful save does half damage. A critical save negates all damage.
I know, but evasion bumps it up from success to great or crit success.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay, so cool. He is going to take some damage. I'm going to mark it. I'm not really going to describe it because you can't see it. So you have engulfed that space in flame.
Fantastic.
Is that how many Dragon's Rage breath? How many actions is that?
level 6 action. That's all it
Two.
says.
It's 2 actions. So if you look at your, if you look at the action, do you see it has 2 little diamonds?
Oh, yes.
That's a 2 action ability. So you strided, which was 1 action, and then you used your remaining 2 actions to do the Dragon's Breath. Does that make sense?
Fair enough.
Cool. So you get 3 actions every turn.
Yeah, we discussed that last time.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure it's clear because it's a whole different way of thinking about how combat works. So I just want to make sure it's clear.
This thing is, yeah, I didn't even need to approach this thing. I read that fully.
Yeah. Cool.
20 foot.
The other nice thing is once you've taken 3 actions, I don't need to ask if it's the end of your turn because I know it's the end of your turn. There's no bonus actions. It's nice. It is Evlona's turn. She is going to move up around this corner. And why do I have Alboliel's character sheet open? She's dead. She is also going to prepare a spell in case she sees a creature come. That's interesting. Oh, she can't. She has to stay back here. She has to stay back here to do that because it's 1 action to prepare and 2 actions to cast. Okay, cool. It is Dodgy's turn. Oh, you can see the creature now, I'm going to say. Oh. But you're the only one that can see it.
Fair enough.
I have to re-roll its initiative, but it didn't make a difference. Wow, look at those initiative rolls. They're so different.
Much higher.
Yeah, right?
It's like a 22 is a shit roll.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you see, basically, it's this weird, winged but semi-incorporeal humanoid figure with vicious claws.
Interesting. Well, I don't have Dragon's Breath, but I do have this.
Oh boy.
So it gets to roll.
So it gets the save. And you also have to do a save.
Yep. Save. Will. Oh shit. So I think that's just a fail, isn't it?
So the DC is 27. So that's a failure. So it bumps up to a success for you, which means you take half damage.
Yep.
Right? So you take half damage. And then the shadow creature, that it was a 21. It wasn't supposed to be hidden. So it got a 21, so it failed. So it takes, how much damage did you roll? 34?
Yep.
What kind of damage is it?
Psychic, I think.
Okay, so it takes 34. Okay.
Mental damage, yeah.
$29.
So I take 17.
So you put a good hurt on it. It did not critically fail, so it is not stunned. So that is that. So I think that was your spell. You are also now suffering the first level of your curse.
Yep.
You are starting to
open
slowly.
curse.
Well, I mean, you're suffering it.
Yeah, I know. Technically.
You're slightly. You just got light feet, man. How many actions is that?
It's 2.
Okay, so did you move at all?
I'll move up to here.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry, no, I don't.
Can
Can I take that back, or is it?
Yeah, you can take it back.
I will use instead dueling parry. So raise my AC by 2. I'll stay here and protect Nithla.
Requirements here: wielding only a single one-handed weapon and have your other. Okay. Are you dropping your staff, or like what are you doing? Because you.
Oh, she just has that like on her back. She wasn't wielding it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to enforce like the actions for drawing and stowing weapons a little bit more in this system.
It's entirely out of combat thing, so
Yeah.
it has no use in combat.
Okay. So the creature is going to. I'm going to say tuck itself here so it has the advantage kind of cover. It's kind of tucking itself up as high as it can in this room. It will attack Murakana. Okay, cool. So that's what that happens. Okay. I had to look up concealment, and it is going to... So it'll move. What is that? Oh, that's cool. It's not very useful. Oh. That's interesting. Okay. Ooh. Ooh.
That's never a good thing.
Oh my gosh, this creature is so much more fun. It unleashes a searing line of cold damage. As soon as I can figure out how to get it to... Oh, there it is. Did that... Nope, that didn't roll. Can you roll? Can I roll you? Can I not roll you? What are you doing? Oh, I rolled it like 5 times. Good God. Sorry, there was a delay on my... Oh, it's private. That's why. I know exactly what I'm doing. Here we go. It shoves this searing blast of cold damage out down the hallway. I'm going to say it's going to hit... let's draw a line. As soon as I can get to a line. Measure. I'm going to say it's going to clip... It's going to clip 3, yeah. It's not going to hit Gale or Avlona. It is going to hit Nithla, Murakana, and Daji.
Yep.
So, it is going to...
Oh, there's no save against that. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why it has a save there.
It does have a save.
Well, there's a save button, but there is no save. It just deals damage across the line of the creature. So, I'm going to roll the damage. It does 24 cold damage to everybody along that line. So that's 25 cold damage, Murakana.
24, wasn't it?
Oh, 24, sorry.
I realized that was an automatic.
Yeah, that is an automatic hit. It just sears through all of you with hideous coldness. And that is the creature's turn. It says Invidiac, but it's a shadow demon. But I don't know, whatever. Apparently Shadow Demon is actually copyrighted by Wizards of the Coast.
Nice.
It is Nithla's turn, and she kind of grunts as she's hit, but now she knows there's a creature in that room. Well, I mean, she did know, but... What do we got? That can't be done. Oh! Ha! Nithla is going to dispel magic on that room, on the darkness. So there is no longer darkness there. Because if she can't see it, she can at least make it so everybody else can. And then she is going to move out of that line of fire because she didn't like it. She's going to move over here. She's going to move kind of back over here to be able to at least shoot at anything that comes out of that room. That is Nithla's 3 actions. Murakana, it is your turn. You can now completely see that creature.
Smash! Oh, I did that wrong. Sorry.
So what are you trying to do?
I was using a great axe, but I screwed that up.
So what were you trying to use an ability, or were you just trying to hit with the axe?
I was trying to use sudden charge, but I screwed that up. Wait, that's a two. Ooh.
You can't. Sudden charge doesn't make sense here.
Yeah, like right next to him. Yeah.
Like power attack would make sense here.
God, it doesn't automatically do it, does it?
So you just add a damage die. So your damage. So you haven't rolled your damage yet. So.
See if that works.
What? No. So you just.
Damage or
So where are you rolling from?
strike plus 18.
Okay, so are you rolling from the quick options on the top left, or are you rolling from your character sheet?
I'm rolling from the character sheet and strikes.
Okay, 1 second. So you see where it says damage and critical?
Yes.
Roll your critical. So you're going to do 56. Now roll one more. Your damage is D12. Add another D12 to that for power attack. So just, yeah. So you do a total of 66 damage on that power attack, and you just fucking whomped it. You cleave it in half, and you have killed that little that shadow demon. So there you go. How does that feel, Murakana?
Fucking
Holy
ridiculous.
shit.
Barbarians hit like tanks in this game.
Yeah, I think that was a worthy trade, my near invincibility for
Making everyone else no longer invincible.
yeah. Because I felt like before, like I was just like little like pick hammer, just tink, tink, tink.
Yeah, so to describe, although I think that I don't, it's 2d12. What did you roll? You rolled,
I rolled a d12.
It's 2 times 2d12.
well, it did it. Like, it has the 2 times. I think that critical formula is actually incorrect, but that's okay. I think
Lower or higher?
it should have been 2 times the 2d12 plus 6 plus 8.
Shows on me.
Well, no, so it's, no, but the 6 and the 8 should have been not multiplied.
Ooh.
So I'll look at that. But you would have gotten 6 plus 8 is 14. So you would have gotten 24 plus 6 is 30 plus 8 is 38 plus 10 is 48. So you still killed it. I don't know why it's adding the bonuses. So the way crit damage works is the die roll is doubled, but the bonus damage is not. So your rage damage and your... does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just have to look at how it's...
Added.
There's probably a setting I have to configure to get the crit damage to work right. Because there's options to roll the whatever, but I want to play it base. But you still killed it regardless. It's dead. And I think I have Draco Lich blood levels set on, so I'm going to fix that real quick. Because it always defaults to Draco Lich, so we're going to change it to Kobold. Just so that there's not quite so much blood everywhere. But you have killed it. And Nithla kind of looks at you and just grunts approvingly.
You're winning her over.
And it's effortless.
Where is... Oh, damn spell. Vital Beacon, that's it.
What does this do?
I can do
So
that. It takes a minute to cast, but once I've done it... people can supplicate and lay hands upon me to regain hit points. I'll do it
Ooh,
myself
hands on
first.
you, kinky.
I know, right? And the fact that she looks like a succubus probably doesn't help things, but anyway.
I mean, who knows for the Thanes? Maybe that's a plus. Okay, so we have to figure out the order this happens in. So Murakana gets 40-10.
Wait, no, I was already pretty fucked up by that thing.
Oh, so you take the 40. You get the 24. Murakana, you get 48 hit points if you do that.
So I'm back to full.
Well, you got to roll 48.
Oh, okay.
And Nithla will get, what, 46? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's much more efficient in terms of healing spells. So was anyone else hurt?
Nithla.
Oh, so Nithla already rolled, or no?
No, I'm rolling it right now.
Ah, no worries.
So Nithla gains
46.
13.
Cool. And I guess I'll take the last one if no one else is hurt. 44.
Oh. Although your rage ends, Murakana, so I'm going to take it off your character sheet.
Jesus.
Between your temporary hit points and whatever, you should be at full health. Because you should have taken 13 temp HP damage first. I'm just going to fix that. There we go. So y'all are back up.
Pretty much, yeah.
And Orvex from the back says, "Good job with the axing. It appears that you have become even more effective at hitting things." So yeah.
Nice. I inspect the shadow demon thingy. I pull its corpse out if I can.
Sure. It's a gross. It's just its form is actually slowly seeping away into like black mist. It almost seems like its body was maybe not corporeal really to begin with, and it's just slowly seeping away into a dark fog that dissipates.
So it had no. Oh, it's probably a silly question, but it had no equipment or anything like that. So
No, it had no equipment.
there was nothing in the chamber.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's just an empty room.
I shall look down that drain thing there.
So as you look into the drain, you can see a few inches below there is water flowing by from south to north.
And that, I believe, is a window.
That is a window. Let me get
There's
that.
a bunch of people in there.
Yeah, let's see here. Omitting the la-da-da-da-da. So beyond this window made out of crystal, you see a vaulted tomb overgrown with moss and creepers. There's a stone sarcophagus resting on a stepped dais in the middle of the floor. On the wall behind the dais, on the wall behind the sarcophagus, where those two little stars are, there is a pair of stone bear statues holding a large bronze disc covered with dozens of glaring eyes. And then you can kind of make out there's alcoves around the room that appear to have desiccated corpses wearing black masks made of paper mache sitting in chairs.
Interesting. And I take it that crystal thing, we can't really, break that? Or maybe we could, I don't know. And shit, if anyone can, Murakana, evidently. It's hard enough.
I mean, if you want to try to break it, you certainly can.
Yeah,
Well, you can try to break it.
I don't think Daiji can do it, because she's very weak, basically.
Let's see.
You get back.
I'm looking for my strength stuff. Oh, there it is.
Are you gonna try and break it with your fist or just hit it with a weapon?
I was gonna try and just rip it out.
It's smoothly sealed into the stone of the walls here. For what it's worth, all of the walls here are incredibly smooth stone. So this crystal window is just embedded in that wall. So that there's no place to grab it to try and pull it out. Does that make sense?
All right. Plan
Try
B.
pushing it in. Or pushing it out of. Kind of. Swing at it.
So let's see here. So you hit it with your axe, and the window shatters. You have just shattered that window with your great axe.
7 years bad luck. Oh wait, that's mirrors. Moving along. I see bodies.
How far is that down? Because you said it was overlooking the place, right?
Well, it's looking in. It's the same level.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, anybody got an arrow?
It was sorry.
Oh, wait, I do.
The door or the window was let me rephrase that. It's an arched crystal window. It was 6 feet wide and 10 feet high.
What kind of crystals are we talking? Like valuable kind or just
Not anymore.
what crystals? I mean, they're broken, but I mean, they're still bits of crystal. Like, who knows?
It has shattered into very small pieces.
Yeah.
There's, I guess, if
I
you
meant
want,
like what kind of crystal, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if it's not like a valuable kind, then
no, it doesn't appear to be particularly valuable.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess we could poke around inside there. I can't go through there because it's a wall.
Oh, ha! That's gone. there was a window wall there. As you enter the room,
Shit. Yeah, go on.
all of the eyes on that bronze disc focus on you. And the creatures in this room, those corpses, begin stirring. And I am going
Cassie
to...
and pull her back to the window.
Wait, sorry, he said what?
Oh,
Oh, you
I'm...
were saying something.
Yeah, so that all of those creatures begin stirring.
Oh, so they're not active. Oh, they are. Okay, cool. Interesting.
Murakana, roll initiative.
I was gonna say shoot them from a distance.
Well, yeah.
Well, we are in combat.
My character is particularly light-footed, so I didn't think I'd set them off, but apparently they can just see in the dark, so great. I suppose that makes sense in hindsight.
There's a very specific mechanic at play here.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so it is Nithla's turn first. What is she going to do? God, she hasn't even cast anything yet. She can't do that. What is that? That's cool. Okay. She's gonna walk up to the edge of the window. How many? You must have line of effect to all targets. Oh, well, that won't work very well because they're all in alcoves, and she's not stupid. Sorry, I'm just checking what options I have here.
Would you like me to get them in a line for you?
Well, like I said, I grabbed a relevant stat block and reskinned it. Because I'm a GM, that's what I do all the goddamn time. No, that's a self. Why did they have that spell? That's a stupid spell for this character to have. I'm going to rework these spell blocks for next session. Okay, she's just going to zap this one with a Ray of Frost. So, let's see here. It deals da-da-da-da-da. Oh, cantrips don't... Do cantrips automatically heighten? I don't think they do.
Sure.
Not in Pathfinder. Let me check, though.
Looks like it to me.
Oh, it's heightened to half your level rounded up. Okay, cool.
Yep. So
Never mind. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure if that was the same, because it, makes a difference. Okay, so she's going to make a spell attack. Maybe? Oh, it helps if I don't use the cameraman. Haha. Make the attack. That's a 27, which will hit. Oh, so critical failures and critical successes. Oh, actually. Okay, so this is important because in Pathfinder, crits are usually based on 10 under or 10 over, and a 20 or a 1 automatically raises your success by 1 level or adds a level of failure. So normally she would have hit, but because she rolled a 1, she failed. So she misses. And that is the end of her turn. It is Evlona's turn. And Evlona, she's going to try to do the same thing, but to a different white. So, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da-da. She will attack. Wow.
Fucking Red Wizard's showing us how it's done.
Yeah, Jesus.
Rip, dead.
And you see Evlona, she just kind of glances back at Nithla, and she's just like, really? Both of us?
Feels bad, dude.
Yeah, it really does. It is Murakana's turn.
I was kind of looking at him like, well, this has been fun, so I'm going to go ask them a question. Y'all stay here. Oh, and I'm going to rage before I go through the door. Let me see if I can
So, yeah.
get that back on.
So if you roll Rage and then drag it to your effects tab, it'll take effect. Like if you drag that little suitcase, is that onto
I'm
your...
looking for it just a second.
I'm gonna try something real quick. Before you do it, I want to try something. If I drag Rage onto you... Oh, you can just drag it onto your token.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. I really like that. That's nifty. You're raging now.
That would have been a great... This would have been a great start for me to use that effect I've been wanting to use.
I'll admit it's much nicer than the one in, friggin' 5e where you just have to manually calculate that shit on top.
So here's a point of reference. Like sudden charge is useful if you have to move more than 40 feet. If you
okay, fair
like
enough.
because sudden charge lets you move 80 feet. Because you get to stride twice and attack. And it's
Which is
two.
fucking nuts, by the way.
Yeah. So, but just like in this case, it doesn't make a difference because you could either take one stride action and then attack, or you could sudden charge to stride twice and attack.
And rage is an action, isn't it?
Yeah. So you've spent one action to rage, so now you could either sudden charge or stride and then strike. It doesn't really matter. Does that make sense?
It both equals out the same thing.
Yeah. So like, yeah, sudden charge is great for... It's your I'm getting where I need to be ability.
Okay. So do I roll a critical attack since I'm raged, or do I roll damage?
No, so you roll your strike for the great axe. So you roll the strike to see if you hit. which you do. And let me hold on a second. So that's a success, and these guys are AC. So that's actually a critical. You exceeded its AC by enough that you critted. So then you roll your crit damage.
Oh my
Which, Jesus, it's dead. You just murked that guy. God, I forgot how fun combat in Pathfinder is. It's so much more
Fucking Christ.
boomy. So that white's dead, and that is your turn. I get to use my guys now.
Not if Americana gets to fucking go anywhere near him. Jesus Christ.
Well, there's ways to get to neutralize Americana. I'm just checking what these guys can do real quick. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So his movement is... What is his movement? Where is your movement? 25. He can just get to Daiji. So this guy's going to come to Daiji, and that's his move. He's going to strike once.
Oh, hang on. I get to... Oh, never mind. I do nothing. Because that misses.
Yep, and then he will strike again. Wow.
Misses.
Very consistent, and that is his turn. So, next white. Did I move the wrong white?
Oh no, did you?
Yeah, I moved the wrong white, so I'm going to use the correct white this time. I'm going to use the right white. This one is
white.
Yeah, this one is going to attack. He's going to stride to Maracana and strike once. Does a 20 hit you, Maracana?
Not even close.
Let's try again. How about a set? Nope. Okay. So what you're seeing right now is these are severely underleveled, and you're seeing that like they can barely even touch you. So I'm probably going to have to look at how I've balanced this tomb. Because Pathfinder is just different. Dodgy, it is your turn.
Sweet. Okay, I am going to do... I can't do performance because he's already right next to me, isn't he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think I didn't think through the... This is fascinating. It's fun. Vexing Tumble. Okay.
So I
so
gotta roll acrobatics, I believe, before I move.
yeah, because you're what is it?
Depends.
It's basically you're basically tumbling through.
Yeah.
Which
Mostly just doing it to get panache.
yeah, because tumbling through is an action.
Fuck me. I'm going to use my feet to reroll.
Well, so you gotta.
I have luck as a. I'm just trying to find it again.
I wonder if I can just use the compendium to find this. Oh, I made a card for all of these. Haha, let me... Did I not put that card in this game? Damn it, I didn't put that card in this game. Okay.
Is it Charm Life?
Actions. Tumble.
Phase Fortune. I don't have Phase Fortune in here. That sucks. Don't know how to link that.
What are you trying to do?
Phase Fortune.
Is that one of your feats?
Yeah, it lets me re-roll once a day. It's a background feed.
I'm just trying to find it. Oh my god, you have so many feats.
Everyone does.
What was it called? Sorry.
Phase Fortune.
Is it in your feat list? Oh, there. Phase Fortune. That's why I was reading it wrong. Phase Fortune. Concentrate. Once per day, you attempt a skill check you haven't yet rolled.
Yeah, never mind.
Well, do you want to retroactively apply it as rolling
Like to.
twice? Is that even on your character? Well, just
It's
roll
in
again.
her hero. Yep. Acrobatics. Let's try again, shall we?
I'm half tempted to just build characters in here.
Would be easier.
I think it might be actually. Or like we could build them on the one side and just roll acrobatics again. Well, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Huzzah.
Enemies reflex DC. You're good.
Sweet. I got panache.
I think. I don't know what a reflex DC is, but I'm looking at its thing. I think you passed. Yeah, sure, you got panache.
Yep. Like my reflex DC is 20, for instance, so I very much doubt he is higher.
Yeah.
Actually, shit, that means even my crit fail would have passed it.
Well, no. So the crit fail just lowers it because
Lowers
you
it,
got
yeah.
because you crit failed. So yeah, 20 would have probably
still
been a
think that would be
success
down.
to a failure.
Yep.
I'm just gonna look it up real quick. What is the target's blank DC? 10 plus their reflex. Yeah, so you would have failed the first one. Okay, so where are you going?
Just here.
What?
I only needed to trigger it. Actually, you know what?
Oh, you were doing that to get panache?
Yeah, I just needed the buff.
Okay.
And then I shall strike him back. With that, panache is activated. Jesus.
25 will hit.
Oh, cool. Why is damn it? There it is.
For 16. Okay.
And then I shall go dueling parry again.
Okay. Now it is my turn. This white, 1, 2, 3. This white's going to get here, so it's going to attack you flat-footed.
Yep.
So it will. So it's a -4 to your AC.
Oh, okay.
So its first attack is 25.
28 minus 4.
So it hits. Because 25 beats 24. So 1d6 plus, let's just roll the damage. So it does 6 damage to you. And you need to make a fortitude saving throw.
I do. Oh, okay. So-
And you passed. It will
Sweet.
attack one more time, or it'll attack one more time. Which I don't think that'll hit even with the other things, so he does gain 3 temporary hit points from the first attack that hit you. Okay. Next white. This one will It'll get here to flank you, Murakana. Although you can't. Oh, you can be flanked. Cool. Oh, target is flat-footed. I can toggle it. Cool. Let's see what happens when I do that. Curious what it says. Didn't do anything. So, what's your AC, Murakana?
24.
So it's a 21. A 19 doesn't hit. It will try to attack one more time. And that'll miss 2. And then the final white will come and attack you, Dodgy.
Dodgy.
Trying to keep all your character names straight. So I don't think this one gets flanking. So the first attack is a 26.
Yes. If that's not flanking, then yeah. I got 28 AC.
Okay. Oh, from the dueling. Is that a reaction or is it permanent?
It's a circumstance 2 to AC until
Ah. Cool.
you can parry attacks against you with one until the start of your next turn. Okay.
Yep. No, I was just checking. I just wanted to know if it was like a reaction that you get or not. So the second attack
I have a
will
reaction.
miss. And then it is Nithla's turn. And Nithla is frustrated. She is going to come up here. And she is going to... where is Nithla? She is going to...
Oh, shit. Flat-footed's only -2, dude. It's not -4.
Oh. So the other one didn't hit you?
Shouldn't have. I don't know how much it hit me for, but it's like 6.
1d6 plus something. Yeah. I don't think it was much. You probably can just take the health back then. So let's see. Nithla is going to Cone of Cold and hit the 2 whites kind of directly in front of her. Yeah. So she is... I guess they get save DCs. This is going to be hilarious. Is that the full spell? I feel like these spells don't have the... Why does it have a... It doesn't have a save DC. Oh, save DC 36 reflex. I'm just going to say it's a reflex save. Roll once. Roll twice. They both fail. Do they have resistance? They don't have any resistances, so she is going to do... Oh, gosh. I have to roll in the right window. That's fun. 38 damage to both of them with that blast of cold, and she puts a nice coating of frost on both of those whites. And Nithla just kind of grunts her approval of that actual effect. It is Evlona's turn. And what will Evlona do? Evlona's going to come kind of right here, and she is going to Magic Missile. And these are automatic, so she's going to spend 2 actions to Magic Missile the white between Murakana and Nithla twice. So she'll roll it 2 times. Wow, that was fantastic. She does 4 damage. And she just kind of shrugs.
I don't really care anymore.
It is Murakana's turn.
Yeah, baby. Alrighty. So.
Who are you attacking?
Guy right in front of Nithla.
Okay. 34 hits.
I hope so.
Damage
Jesus.
or critical?
It's actually a crit, so it's just dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dead.
Yep, that one is
And
dead. So that's your first attack.
And that one next to me.
So that actually gets... Did you roll that with the multiple attack penalty?
Oh, no, I did not.
Yeah, so you have to roll your second and third attacks with the increasing multiple attack penalties. So
Hey!
a 28 will still hit. Roll your damage.
The critical or not? Regular damage?
That actually is a crit.
Is it really?
Yeah. So add a d8. Doesn't matter, it's dead.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's just brutal.
Splat, splat.
Just walks into the room and starts fucking ripping things apart.
And then, okay, so now it's my turn again. This white is going to step with a
Well, I
5
still
foot.
got one action.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Never mind. Yeah, you got one more
Yeah.
action left.
Throw your axe at something.
That's actually a fantastic idea.
Okay.
I'm going to throw my hand axe at the one right in front of me.
So you can't actually do that
Oh.
because you would have to spend an action to draw it. So to switch weapons, you actually have to spend an action to switch weapons.
Oh, did not know that. Okay.
Unless you have a feat that lets you not do that, yeah, it takes an action because you technically have to drop your axe and then draw the hand axe and throw it.
Like if you're a ranger or swashbuckler, you get quick draw, I believe. So
Yeah.
you can just draw whenever.
Do you want to move?
Yeah, is throwing an axe an action, though, if I don't recover anything?
Throwing the one that you're holding.
Yeah, let me just look up throw path.
We're learning everything tonight.
Well, I know. Throwing a weapon as an improvised action. Can someone throwing melee weapons in Pathfinder 2e? Here we go. It doesn't have the thrown tag, so I don't think you can actually throw. Could with improvised weapons. I'm gonna say sure, but you get a -2, and it doesn't get any of the bonus damage. It'll just be like straight whatever the weapon's damage is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you throw it, it'll hit for 1d12.
We'll just move.
Okay.
It'd be at like a -10 because that's like your third action. So
Yeah.
Move right here. And I'm just going to take a defensive stance.
Okay. That's not a thing, but you can totally do that.
That's what I'm calling it.
I mean,
Okay.
it is a thing, just not for barbarian.
Well, yes. Okay, so I'm going to go to my white. Oh, it's going to come here. It's going to attack with flanking. First attack.
26.
Uh,
Yeah, that is.
okay, so it'll do 8 damage. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, 1 second. Close that. Wait, Constitution. Is that.
Fortitude. Fortitude. Sorry.
You're right.
There's only 3 saves in this game. 25. The DC is... Nope, you passed. Cool. So he gains his temporary hit points, but you are okay. And then he will make his second attack at a penalty. Nope. That is not going to hit. It is Dodgy's turn.
Sweet. Which one looks the most wounded around me?
The one to the north of you,
Okay.
with the purple circle around it.
I should use my finisher on it.
Doesn't that end your...
Panache. Yeah.
Now, doesn't finisher, can't it only be the last attack you make in a turn?
Pretty sure it's. I'm pretty sure it's just a thing that you can do, and it makes you end your panache. Then you have to work it up again.
I'm just
not
gonna...
sure if I have to-
I'm gonna look it up real quick just to make sure. Let's get all of this out of the way today.
Yeah, fair enough.
Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, I don't know why. The
Archives of Nethys is taking forever tonight. It's just taking forever. I'm just gonna grab my rule book and see if I can find it there first. This is why it's always good to have the rule book, right? Is the tag finisher? Does it have a tag on the attack? Finisher are spectacular finishing moves that use your panache. You can use a finisher only if you have panache, and you lose it immediately after. After you use a finisher, you can't use any actions that have the attack trait for the rest of your turn.
So I can use it, but then that's like I can't attack anymore after that.
Yeah, so there's also, I think, like, sudden charge, I think, is also, it's an open. So, like, sudden charge can only be used. Okay, so here's a fun thing, Maracana. Sudden charge, if you look at it in your character sheet, it has a couple of tags on it. One is flourish, and one is open. And so opening attacks can only be the first thing you do on your turn, and flourishes, you can only use one flourish per turn. Oh, that's cool. If you look, confident finish, right? That was that confident finish? So if you looked at, oh, it doesn't have the tag. Weird. Okay. I'm assuming it should have the tag, but I don't know if that's true. Anyway. That's why I have
So what do you
rule
think?
books. Trying to find Swashbuckler now. Of course, the last time I opened perfectly to Swashbuckler. What is this? Rogue? No, I don't want Rogue, Monk, Druid, Champion, Bard, Alchemist, Witch. Here we go. I don't want Witch. I want Swashbuckler. Confident Finish. Where's Confident Finish? Do you know what level Confident Finish is?
I think it's like the basic one. It doesn't have a level because it doesn't require a feat. Just every swashbuckler has it.
Oh, okay. Trying to find it. Confident Finisher. It is a finisher. Yes, it has the finisher tag in the rule book.
Yep.
It doesn't have it for some reason in the feat in game, but it is in the rule book as a finisher. Okay.
I suspect it's that reason why Cone of Cold didn't have a reflex save in
Yeah.
thing while it does in Nethys.
Everything in here is volunteer implementation of everything in Pathfinder 2e, so there you go.
Yeah, fair enough. So I can use it?
You can use it as the last attack action on your turn.
Cool. I'll do it anyway, because I was only going to make one.
Okay.
Oh, God damn it.
A 23 will hit.
Oh, well, sick.
Make a strike. You apply precise strike damage. Damn. Okay, cool. 30 damage. Oh, you killed it.
Sweet.
I'm just trying to
Then I
find
shall.
you. Boom, it's dead. Okay.
I use Hexing Tumble around it again. Shall use Acrobatic. Skills. Oh, whoops. That's not meant to be private.
I can see the result. You succeeded.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Cool.
succeeded.
And I shall go onto this side of him. And I will use. I just use my block again.
Okay. And then we go bop, bop, bop to the white that you just dodged around. It's just going to attack. First attack. Hey, that hits you, doesn't it?
Right? It matches. Yeah.
Yep, matches a hit. So make your fortitude save.
Yep.
And
Fine,
it's,
take it.
it's 6 damage.
And then 40.
Rolling on the wrong one, damn it.
Oh boy.
Oh. Wait. Got
Badly
a
enough.
did a 19. You passed because
Even with a 4. Jesus, okay.
okay, and then it will attack again. Nope. And it'll attack a third time, because why not? Nope. And then it is Nifla's turn.
Damn it, I just realised that I had something that I could actually have been using while those guys were making me roll saves.
The odds of you failing are pretty bad. She's going to Ray of Frost it as soon as I roll in the right window. There we go.
Hey!
There it is. Damage.
Lots of dice.
25. Oh, that one hasn't even been hit yet. Well, that's not bad for a cantrip. How many actions? 2 actions. Okay, so move 2 actions. That's her turn. Evlona will follow up with the same thing, because that seemed to work well, so why not? Why burn spell slots when you can cantrip? And Evlona misses and just...
Just another critical.
She's just like, ugh.
Okay.
Yep, that just made her miss. Marcana, what would you like to do?
Smash! I'm going to move right here. And I'm going to proceed to obliterate.
Yep, that'll hit. And
One next to Deji is dead.
God.
Oh boy.
Ah, fumble deck.
Wait, were you... Oh, you're attacking the other one?
I mean, yeah. Is it already dead?
Oh, no, it's not dead. Critical fumble deck. Let's see what this is. Melee attack. You are dazzled until the end of your next turn. I have to figure out what dazzled is.
Makes whoa.
Blinded, broken. Oh, cool. These are all in here. Dazzled. You are dazzled. Let's see what that effect is. That's cool. Effects. Where's effects? Dazzled. Your eyes are overstimulated. If vision is your only precise sense, all creatures and objects are concealed to you.
Oh, that's rough.
I like how the little... Okay, so if you click on your token and then right-click, there's a little person with like a force field around them. Clicking those actually applies any of those conditions. So that's cool.
Wait, what?
Okay,
Fantastic.
if you click on your token and then right-click on it, it should give you... Yeah, there's a bunch of info that shows up there. And then in that little assign status effect box on the right side of the character, it has all of the conditions. And they're in alphabetical order, which is fantastic. Okay, so was that move, attack, attack?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
Oh, I skipped to dodgy. It's the white's turn. Yeah, I guess it's going to attack Maracana. Because why not?
He is there and has been obliterating most of the whites.
Does a 31 hit? Yeah, it hits. Okay, Maracana, make a... You're going to take 7 damage. And you need to make a fortitude saving throw.
Fudge. Fortitude saving throw coming up. I don't know what just happened, but I just clicked on my fortitude saving throw and now it says legendary.
Oh, you clicked on the proficiency.
Whoops. How
To
do
be
I
fair,
undo
you're
So-
a bugbear. You have fuckloads of it.
It should be master, I think. I just fixed it back.
Ah, there we go.
And you passed.
So
So
and you get a fucking crit success anyway.
yeah. I'm gonna attack again.
So I don't take damage.
Nope.
Not from
No,
money,
you
don't.
took 7 damage total from the first hit. And then he's gonna attack a third time. That's not 7 damage. That's 7 damage, and he'll miss.
No, I applied 11,000 health on
Yeah,
accident.
somehow. It is Dodgy's turn.
Sure. Going to. I actually think that the curse has beneficial effects, so I'm going to use it unnecessarily again anyway.
And that just lasts until you refocus, right?
Yeah, so I can keep it for as long as I want, like the
God.
effect.
Yeah.
Shit, where the fuck? There we go. Ring beam, that's kind of terrible. We're gonna roll the dice again.
Oh God. Okay. So everybody make saves.
Not everyone.
Well, you and me.
Oh. Wait.
Okay.
I think I rolled a success.
Which becomes a crit success.
Just. Yeah, so I take nothing.
And I rolled a 27, which ties. So I think that ties go to the winner, so it takes half damage. Because it's a success. So what, that's 16 damage?
Half of that? Yeah. Should be.
What kind of damage is it? Mental, yeah, okay. It is not dead.
No. I think that's a 2-action spell. I don't think it says on mine.
Most spells are 2 actions.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be. Do I?
I'm going to assume, unless otherwise specified, a spell is 2 actions, because most
right.
spells are 2, and like the big spells are 3.
Yeah, like the only exception I have is like shield and
Yeah.
heal, and that's it.
Okay,
Um,
so that's your... Oh, you still have 1 action left, right?
yeah, that's what I was just looking at.
How many focus points do you have?
3 usually.
So you've spent 2, right?
2. And I should be at medium curse now. I'll fix that in a second.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just making sure. There's a lot more minutia to track.
Well, I can't do anything. I strongly suspect Marikana's going to kill it in the next turn. So
Okay.
Maybe.
yeah, I'll just move there. That'll do.
And Nithala's gonna move, and she's gonna try to Ray of Frost again, because why not?
Yeah.
She's doing okay at it. Yup. I dare say... Oh, that's not the end of that white.
Oh.
It's looking very, very not good. And that is Nithala's turn. It is Evlona's turn. And Evlona is just going to step forward and hit the white. Like, she's literally just gonna, like, punch it.
Love it.
And she'll hit it. And she will kill the shit out of it with her focused weird there's a weird. You guys notice there's a weird aura around her fist when she hits, and that is enough to kill that white. And that is the end of combat. So there we go. Outside of all the rules looking up, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we're in a weird place where it's taking us longer to look up all the rules, but the actual combat is moving a bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem much faster overall. Like the fighting itself is. But
Yeah.
it could also be because Arcana can now just like one tap pretty much anything in here.
It's almost like they made marshals really good at hitting
really strong
things.
now.
Although I do
Which
need
is
to.
good.
Part of it also, just so you guys know, these were level 3 creatures. Which
Yeah, significantly on the level.
since you guys are level 9, I'm probably going to go through and make sure that I don't have anything more than 4 levels below you between now and next session, just because it's not going to...
Like they were struggling to hit me, and I'm a caster, so
Yeah. Okay, so you guys, to reiterate the description of this room, it's overgrown with moss and creepers, the whole room. There's a stone sarcophagus on a stepped dais in the middle that you guys were kind of all fighting around. That bronze disc in the corner, being held by the 2 bears, the dozens of eyes on it are kind of flitting between all of you. All of the dead corpses now are all wearing black papier-mâché masks. And then there are chairs in 6 alcoves around this room. And I'm going to pause for 1 second. There, turned it back on. It broke. I don't know why, but when I tried to change the song before, it just completely and utterly broke. So I was hoping to have creepy background music, but, you know.
Oh, it also says when my buffs expire too. Cool.
Where does what say when your buffs expire?
The dueling parry thing. I just looked up in the upper right of my screen and it said the expired buff and removed the effect on its own.
Oh, cool.
Also, I used a upcast heal on myself for 2 action. So I think that's like 1d8 plus 16 plus 1d8.
Okay.
Which is quite nice.
For what it's worth, I know this has bugged a few people in Thursday group. I find putting Groovy at about 50% volume makes it loud enough that most of what I play comes through okay. I am trying to look at a virtual mixer board to actually control it on my end, but it turns out figuring out how to use a virtual mixer board is mildly complicated. Anyway. Okay. So we are in this room.
Sweet. These things had masks, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll pull one off. Like with her sword. She's not going to touch it directly.
Okay.
Is there anything notable about it, or is it?
So it's a black papier-mâché mask. It is... it's got weird feathers coming out all around the edges, almost like a weird macabre masquerade mask.
Interesting. Well, is it magical?
It's a good question.
It's heightened, I guess, so I can see if any of those masks, I think up to 10. Oh, any number of objects. So.
I don't know. The mask, you don't get any sense of magic off of the mask.
Huh. There's still that thing staring at us from
Yes.
over yonder.
Yeah, the eyes on the disc are still staring at you.
Pervert. Oh shit! I completely forgot that I actually have buffs and stuff. Hey, I could have cast heroism on people. So, dang it.
And Evlona and Nithla just kind of start generally inspecting the corpses of the undead creatures.
There he is. Is there something I could roll to? What would be the most appropriate roll to check these guys? Investigation or something? Or,
To like search the bodies.
yeah, I guess, and like, understand what they are.
So that would be a recall knowledge check.
Do that.
The question is, what knowledges do you have?
I have shit, mostly social skills, nature, religion, and that's fate law, which is probably completely irrelevant.
So lore would actually be really specific. Like
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah, fate law wouldn't.
yeah, like undead lore. Let me look. I'd say you could try, just as like a general rule, like, oh well, you can't recall knowledge in occultism because it's untrained.
So I was thinking either religion or if I can't do it.
Uh,
Right, ask for Vex. I think he made it through, didn't he?
I don't have a character sheet for Orvex, but yeah, he would probably be like a lore master of some sort. Yeah, Orvex will look at him and say, I don't see anything specific about these corpses. The sarcophagus, if this is one of the tombs that the caretaker of this place, if this is one of the tombs he indicated, the carvings on the sarcophagus, it is covered in bears, which to me would indicate that perhaps this is the sarcophagus of Obolaka. But beyond that, I'm not sure precisely what is supposed to happen here. For what it's worth, the tomb is completely cut off from the outside world.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
if Withers, the voice you heard earlier, is to be believed, nobody who has entered the tomb has ever left it. So,
And he struck me as a very trustworthy fellow, so.
I leave that up to you to decide.
Uh,
So Nithla is poking around, and she grabs one of the masks off of one of the corpses. And she puts it on just to see what it looks like. Let me see here. Wow, they really... I'm getting used to looking at different... Do we not give perception scores to... Trying to figure out where you roll perception on an NPC card. There it is. She's gonna... Just see what happens. And you see her, she stares at the bronze disc, and she kind of takes the mask and puts it in front of her face, and away from her face, and in front of her face, and away from her face a few times. And she says, I don't think the disc can see us when we put the masks on. The eyes stop following me.
Fair enough. That does match what the pillar at the front mentioned. don the mask or be seen. So I suspect we should all take one. And yeah, Daji will grab a mask and put it on, I guess. And pass on to Marikana.
Okie dokie. I will put it on.
And as you guys put them on, you notice that the eyes on the disc just, they kind of pass over you. Like, they slowly look around, but once you have the mask on, they don't fixate on you anymore.
Shall...
I'm going to move some white tokens off the map just so they're not cluttering the whole place up.
I was going to use them to open the sarcophagus.
You're going to use a white to open the sarcophagus?
I think you remember what happened last time. No, I don't think that'll help in this particular circumstance. And unfortunately, I'm not a ridiculously powerful centaur, so I can't just like kick the lid off or something.
I can.
Hey!
Yeah, if you want to try and take the lid off, make a athletics check.
That's the athletics.
I'm pretty sure you're trained in it.
Oh yeah, I'm chained.
Trained, yeah.
So with the...
I just wanted to see it as well to help.
So, Marikana, you just kind of shove the lid off of that sarcophagus as Daji does something next to you that seems like it's helping, but doesn't seem to do much. As you shove the lid off of the sarcophagus, inside you see a dusty pile of what look like some sort of small animal, probably bear bones. And atop the pile of dusty bones is a ring.
Oh. Do you like strange rings? Well, I mean, it's probably a given that it's fucking magical, but I might as well test it anyway.
Sure. Sorry, I'm just looking up what the aura on that is. Really? Oh, that's interesting. I don't think that ring exists in Pathfinder 2e.
Rip. Oh, do you mean the ring of protection?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. I tried adding one ages ago.
Sure. So it's definitely a magical ring. It gives off an aura of abjuration magic.
Huh. Shielding magic, eh? Well. I shall grab it and see. Does anything happen when I hold on to it?
Yeah. So as you pick up the ring, the dust around the bones swirls into the shape of a small, feral, bear-like creature that billows at you with a ghostly roar, and you immediately feel something, a force or a spirit. You get kind of an emotional sense that it wants you to let it in. Do you kind of accept this offer, or do you resist it?
Sareth flashbacks already, Jesus. Well, strange magical rings with offers of power and or if we just let them in.
Okay. So are you letting it in?
Shit.
That's what this is. Run!
You know what? I can't even remember what that ring does, so fuck it, this is canon anyway. I'll let it in.
Okay. I actually have to get the book because I didn't digitally convert this section. But you feel a presence kind of settle in next to you in your mind. And you hear a kind of nervous voice speak to you and say, we have to be very careful in here, but I think together we can take revenge on Asirak and get out. I'll do what I can to help you, but you have to be careful here. And you now have riding with you the spirit of Obalaka. And so the way this works, Murakana and Lyokin, is if you are possessed by a spirit of the trickster gods, you inherit a flaw that you kind of have to role play with, and you also get a power. Obolaka's flaw is that she is risk averse and a slave to routine. And her power, which I'm probably going to have to change before next session, so I'll figure it out, but her power is that the host can attune to an additional magic item. That's not really relevant in this game.
Yeah.
Because you can have like 10 invested items. So I'll come up with I'll probably come up with some buff that you get. Because I don't have that prepared.
Yeah,
oops.
fair enough.
Oh yeah, like some of these just give ability score boosts that don't even make sense. Yeah. But you also have a ring of greater energy resistance. That's what the ring is. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna roll a d5 to find out which one it is. /roll d5. Got a 2. Cold. It is a ring of energy resistance against cold. So it gives 10 resistance against cold damage.
Nice.
And for what it's worth, it will only work for you, Daji.
Well, I do like rings that grant fancy resistance to cold.
So let me.
Okay.
I'll drag it on you in just a second.
No, yeah, no worries. I was just putting it in on Hero Lab. So, cool.
Yep. So I guess maybe let me go into the inventory. Can I pick the resistance? Can I edit it? Oh, I'm going to try and edit it real quick.
Right.
Details, equipped, description, traits. Here we go. Cold? Oh, that didn't do anything.
Sorry, I closed my character sheet. So.
No, I'm just trying to figure out how I add. Held in one hand, it's worn.
But you could
Worn
hold it in one
ring.
hand.
Carried bulk, worn bulk, does not stack, size medium, rarity, description. Yeah, I don't know how to. Let's make it equipped. And well, you have 10 resistance to cold. Oh, I can just add your resistance.
Yeah, I can just change it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you have 10 cold resistance. So for your all resistance, the 10 supersedes your all.
Yeah, that all resist is only for physical anyway.
Okay.
Oh shit! And I completely forgot to use it against those fucking ghouls anyway, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, like anytime anyone hits me for like 6 or less, they don't do anything.
Yep. But so for resistances, specific resistances, whatever your highest single resistance is, that's what you get. You don't stack resistances.
Yeah. Yeah, it just goes highest number.
Okay. And Evlona just kind of glances at you and says, "Are you still you?"
If I wasn't, would I necessarily answer that truthfully?
She just kind of turns her head and makes a little quirk with her mouth and says,
I
"Fair
don't say
en-
it like meanly, but you know,
yeah."
like,
No, she just kind of goes like, "Fair enough. I will keep an eye on you if I will keep an eye on you."
good. But as far as I'm aware, I believe I'm in control. It seems these rings have something to do with the old trickster gods. From what little I know of them, and maybe possessed by them.
And Orvex looks visibly excited, and he's like, "Can you communicate with the spirit? Is it? This is fascinating." And the voice in your head says, "Don't tell him anything. I don't trust him."
And then I'll make to have tried to answer him, and then I'll just shut my mouth, I guess.
Yeah. So for what it's worth,
Probably have noticed.
you can choose to listen or not listen to the voice of the god.
Oh, so
yeah.
I can actually refuse. That's
Yeah,
just a
you can
compulsion,
refuse. Yeah, it's no. So I think the bonus is basically you would get like if you exceptionally roleplay the flaw, I'll give you a hero point.
Oh, okay.
Just because I think that's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So like yeah, if you kind of really exhibit the
Paranoia.
yeah, because it's meant to be a flavorful addition. It's not meant to like cripple your character.
Yeah, fair enough. I actually should write this down.
So you are in this room.
We're in this room.
Sorry, I'm still writing.
It's interesting that it doesn't wipe the last turn marker.
Sorry, so you said it causes paranoia, and what else?
She is very cautious and a slave to routine.
Okay.
So basically Milton from Office Space.
Let's see.
Do you guys have anything specific you want to do right now?
Well, you already opened the coffin and all that, got the thing. Not really. Let's just explore around.
Well, I might pause it here then because it's almost midnight my time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I have to do a lot of rebalancing. And I just have to look at, like... Luckily, I can easily rebalance stuff. Because I have a tool that even lets me just, like, level adjust creatures. Which is probably what I'll do for some of this. And I think I'll probably try and mix up Nithla and Evlona to not be the exact same stat block, just because, you know. So don't take their spell casting as canon for tonight, just because I need to fix that.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit the button. Thanks.